what is the best technique to overcome my social anxiety? So that was a question that I was asked, and I thought I would talk about that a bit. Now, I'm promoting EFT quite a bit, the tapping. Well, even in EFT, there's a wide variety of it. You have inner child tapping, matrix re-imprinting, there's pro EFT, there is positive EFT, faster EFT. There's all sorts of different kinds of ways of using the tapping. And I talk about EFT or tapping the most because that's the thing that I use the most in everything, and I have most experience in that. However, there are other techniques that are amazing as well, such as logosynthesis. Logosynthesis, I just interviewed Willem Lummers, the creator of this technique, on my podcast, and it's phenomenal. It's a really great technique. Then there's TAT, Tapas Acupressure Technique. I interviewed her on my show as well. It's where you take a certain pose and you say certain phrases, and as you do, the negative emotions connected to a stressful event, for example, rapidly dissolve, and you get a sense of peace and calm. Psyche is for installing positive beliefs in yourself. So it works with muscle testing. You end up sitting in a certain pose like this, and that puts your brain in whole brain position where your left and right hemisphere communicate with each other, and you then repeat a certain positive belief, and that then gets installed in your brains. It's amazing. I did a workshop on that. It's really cool. Then there's the emotion code, which is something quite bizarre. Emotion body code. Body code is the evolution of the emotion code. It's an overall healing system, and that is where it goes by the understanding that we have trapped emotions. So even from before you were born, in the mom's womb and even further back, there are emotions trapped in your system. And with muscle testing, you can communicate with your system. So, if you were here in the room and I would have you stick out your hand like that, and I say, be strong, and I would push down to see how strong you are, I would get a measurement of how strong you would be. Then I would have you say your name. Say your name is Billy. You would say, my name is Billy, and I tried to press down, you'd be strong. And say, now my name is Brenda. You say, my name is Brenda. It'd be weaker. And in this way, you can communicate with your body. You can communicate with your subconscious mind. It's called applied kinesiology. It's actually been around for quite a long time. In that way, you can kind of track what kind of negative emotions, or what kind of trapped emotions you have, because the emotion code consists of a chart which has 2 columns and 6 rows, and in each row there are 5 emotions. So I might say, okay, well, Billy, do you have any trapped emotions contributing to your social anxiety? Yes or no? And then we get a yes answer. Okay, is it in column A? No. Is it in column B? Yes. Okay, is it in odd rows? No. In even rows? Yes. In 2? No. 4? No. 6. Okay, so it's in B6. And there are 5 trapped emotions. There are 5 emotions in B6. And then you determine what it is, and then you release it by taking a magnet and rolling it over your head. I know this sounds really bizarre, but I've experienced amazing results from each and every one of these things. Okay, so that's what emotion code is. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It's a wide variety of techniques that are modeled after the best therapists that were around in the 1970s. Virginia Satir, Frank Farrelly, Fritz Perls, Milton Erickson. These guys were like the best of the best. And then there was a computer engineer and another guy, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, and they modeled what they did so that other people could replicate those results. And that's what NLP is. So, NLP is a variety of techniques that you can use to change your thinking, change the way you feel, change your behavior. It's really powerful as well. I train in that as well. Reiki is where you lie down and you have someone who's a Reiki practitioner, and they kind of hold their hands very slowly over your whole body, and as you're lying down, you feel the heat of their hands kind of aligning your energy field. So it looks for, it kind of balances your whole energy field, Reiki. Then we have, what did I not cover yet? Pranic Healing. So that's something new, actually, that I'm experiencing here in the Philippines, and it's quite amazing. It's pretty bizarre and out there, but it's a whole healing system, and what I like about it is you don't have to do much. You just show up and the healer kind of starts doing stuff. You sit in a chair and they're kind of cleaning up your aura, they're cleaning up your energy field as you're sitting there, and all you're doing is you just have your eyes closed and you're relaxing. And first time that I experienced that, I was just sitting there, and I'm very sensitive to this stuff by now, done a lot of it. I would sit there and I would notice that I came in for some stress in my arms and my right groin muscle, and I just felt that I was energetically being touched. It's going to sound really, really bizarre, but whatever. It's what I experienced. So I felt I was very sensitive to the sensation. Like, wow, there's something going on, and then there was a lot of confusion going on, a lot of rumble, and a lot of stuff in my stomach going on. And then this took about 45 minutes. After about 20 minutes, that disorganization and confusion, all that stuff kind of started to well up and moved into my chest, and now in place for that became like a very centered, calm, peaceful, relaxed feeling. Now after that healing session, there was a bit of talk afterwards. It took maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was so out of sorts that I couldn't even focus on my work. I couldn't even keep my focus on one thing, which is something that happens more frequently with certain of these energetic interventions, because you can kind of see it as a literally like an energetic operation. Well, if you get a normal operation, you need some time to recover. Well, sometimes that's the case with this as well. Anyway, so that's Pranic Healing. So there's not really one thing that is the best. What I like about EFT is I can use only EFT and get the results that I want. It's very versatile and very specific and direct. TAT is you don't have to be specific or direct, and it's very broad and general. You don't have to get specific or figure things out or be clever and psychological about things. Local synthesis is very effective and efficient. You say a couple of phrases, you focus on something, you focus on an upsetting memory or an upsetting fantasy, think it's something you worry about. You say these phrases, and you literally feel in your body that your energy is shifting. It works really rapidly and really deeply. It's profound. Psyche, what I like about it is that it's pretty easy. You're sitting down and you're just, you can't do it wrong. You're repeating this positive affirmation, this new belief that you want to install, such as I am lovable or I am good enough. And you just, as you sit in that position, you feel the resistance to that belief melting away. Like 5, 10, 15 minutes, that belief is gone. Now that's not to say that it's the end-all be-all solution. It's not like, oh, I'll just take the belief I'm socially confident and I'll just sit like this, and in 15 minutes all my social anxiety is gone, which I thought when I found it. That's definitely not the case, but it's very beneficial. Emotion code, in the moment, it's very good if you're numb to your emotions. This has benefited me a lot. When I found out about this, I'm probably going to get the man who developed this, Dr. Bradley Nelson, a chiropractor. I'm probably going to get him on the show. I'll send him an email today and see if he wants to come on. Probably will. Yeah, when I found out about the emotion code, I found out in Chiang Mai in Thailand. I was invited by a woman to do some, some group EFT tapping, and I went there to explore and meet the lady. A very nice lady. She was trained level 1, 2, and 3 of EFT, and she guided the group tapping. And then later she said, "I don't do EFT so much anymore in one-on-one sessions. I'm more focused on emotion code now. It's kind of like EFT on steroids." I'm like, wow. Well, now I need to know what this is, right? I don't agree with her that it's EFT on steroids, and I think by now she has changed her view on it as well. It just works on a different level. But basically, you release these trapped emotions, and in the moment, you actually don't feel much shifting. It's very subtle, although some people do. Some people do experience a shift, but it's not as overt as with tapping. And then, day after or 2 days after, you might have a bit of processing going on, where you're a bit grumpy and moody, and it's kind of like you're recovering from the energetic operation. And then the day after that, or a couple of days after, it's integrated. You feel more solid. You feel more grounded. So really cool as well. Pranic Healing I already spoke about. Very profound, deep, subtle healing. What I like is it's again, you don't need to be very clever about it. Reiki as well, NLP, very versatile. So there's and then I'm not even talking about acceptance and commitment therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy or any of the other stuff that's out there. All the Buddhism. There is a lot of good stuff out there. Loving What Is, the book. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and there's not one thing that is the absolute best. However, I like EFT because I can use it for everything. But I've learned a lot about EFT. I've done this a lot. But I would say, learn about all of them. Figure out which ones suit you. But there's a wide variety of amazing techniques and methods available, and try it out for yourself. When you don't get any results, work with someone who's an expert. That's how I got this to work for myself. I initially didn't get any results with EFT. Well, I worked with an expert. Logosynthesis, at first I didn't get any result because why was that? I was told by Steve Wells, who I interviewed on the podcast, like, "Oh, have you heard about logosynthesis? Okay, do you have anything that you're upset about? Just pick anything." And I couldn't really find something that I was upset about. And we still did these sentences, and I'm like, well, I don't really feel much of a change. I only got interested in it when I went to a workshop and I saw it work on someone else. And then I'm like, okay, I need to study this. And then I read the books and then gave it a proper try. And then I'm like, wow, this stuff is very powerful. I've since been using with my clients. What I use with my clients in coaching sessions is EFT, logosynthesis, emotion code, NLP. Is that it? That's it. Oh, and PET, provocative energy therapy. That's something really amazing, but you can't really learn that for yourself that easily. It's not an easily self-applied tool. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. What is the best? There's no best. Learn about all of them. See what works for you. And just know that there are a lot of solutions available. And, I'm releasing a video like this every Thursday. You can subscribe right here. My name is Sebastian van der Schlier from socialanxietysolutions.com. I'm an ex-social anxiety disorder sufferer and a social confidence coach. I'm currently still available for coaching sessions for the coming months, but that's gonna not be as available anymore in 2016. Anyway, hope this is helpful, and I connect with you soon next week. Bye for now.